What do you get back? Hope in a future after you die.
Believe it or not, you cannot be educated as a black man and stick a toe to the melody of white man's religion of Christianity and brown man's religion of Muslim. It is counterintuitive to your own culture. It wouldn't work. And then most of the people who practice this religion in Africa, people who are not educated. And when I say education, I don't necessarily mean about you getting a PhD, doctors of philosophy. That's academics. You must be able to separate the fact that we have academics and we have education. You can be highly trained as an academician, yet you are not educated. That's why we have a lot of professors, people who have PhDs, they're not educated, they are roaming around with the white man's religion and the brown man's religion and tag their own African tradition as evil. Because that's the way you've been trained, The video of Dr. Omar that I'm about to play for you, and what he's talking about how black people use their money in a church. Let me even say this, oftentimes I hear people who seems to be, sound, say that they give this money to God. And once you say that, I begin to see that something is wrong with you in the unconscious level and on the mental level. What is the bank of God? What does it look like? Does God have bank? And what street is that bank located? And how do you deposit the money to the bank? The fact is that the money is used by your pastors, let nobody delude you about it. It's a time that people have to begin to ask themselves questions. And it's because of lack of education that is stopping people from asking questions. Every black man should go back and check the root word education and then try to link it up to academics so that you'll be able to articulate what I'm saying when I'm saying something. We cannot be a true Africans and practice every other religion. It is impossible. Why? Because they came here to make you look inferior and make your own tradition to look inferior and make their own to look superior. That is the reason why it wouldn't work. You give money to God when your pastors are buying private jets, Rolls Royce, Lamborghinis, and sending their children to go study in the Ivy League universities like Cambridge, MIT, Harvard, and what have you. And you are dumbing around in so many African useless schools that even in the laboratory they don't have equipment to train you as a scientist. Well, I believe that with time, everything is going to change. I believe, and I've said it time without number, just in 30, 40, 50 years to come, black people will be performing at a level that will actually shock the rest of the race. You see the information we are putting out on the internet, you may think that what we're saying is crazy, but watch out how it's going to transform the life of people who are in their 10, 5, 3, 2 years old in the next 35, 40 years to come. We have people who will now look at history as a no, they deceived us. And we're going to listen to this type of people because they are the ones who are mentally sound to tell us where we're coming from and who we are as a people and stand our ground to change our own situation. And that is what we are born to do. And we keep saying it until black people will begin to buy sense. Okay, I want you to listen to Dr. Omar and what he said about religion. I think he make a lot of sense about that,
When you put your money in the church bucket, what do you get back? Hope in a future after you die. And my position on that, if I have to die to experience heaven, I don't need that religion. Anyone who tells me that I should be content with accepting hell on earth when the white man has his heaven here, and the Chinese man has his heaven here, and the Arab and East Indian has his heaven here, and they're even building their heaven in my ghetto, and you're telling me I got to die in order to experience what they are getting right now? That's a religion I don't need, because that's a religion for servitude. And so we have to put the black church to task and ask them, what are you doing with our Jesus money? Let me tell you what they're doing with your Jesus money. Every black church in America has their money in a white bank. It is the white banks that are funding the regentrification ethnic cleansing movement. So all of us go to church. We put $3 million in the church coffers every Sunday. $3 million goes to a white bank every Sunday. And guess what they do on Monday? They take $3 million of black people's white Jesus money and they give loans to white land developers and businesses and entrepreneurs to come into the ghetto where the church is located, buy up all the property, and force grandma out on the street homeless. Now, grandma been going to that church for 30 years. Grandma been giving that church $50 every Sunday. And lo and behold, grandma had to finally face the reality that it was your Jesus money that put your ass on the street.